Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Concealer Fest. And today I'm going to check out from Dior the Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Retails for $36. You get 0.37 ounces of product. I didn't count these shades, but there's a bunch of them. 28 different shades. I have the fourth shade, 1 Neutral, described as for fair skin with neutral undertones. This is a 24-hour wear, multi-purpose, full coverage creamy concealer that corrects, hides under eye circles, redness, blemishes, and imperfections. Natural finish, normal dry combo, and oily skin. The highlighted ingredients include wild pansy for visibly smoothing and moisturizing the complexion. 24-hour wear, not saying anything else new in there. Yeah, so this one is currently getting a heck of a high rating. Let's see, 4.6 out of 5 stars with 936 reviews on Sephora's website. Let's take a look at shade 1 Neutral swatched against a few others in my collection. Alrighty, let's swatch. First up is today's concealer, the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer in shade 1 Neutral. Second, I've got from NARS, the Radiant Creamy Concealer in shade Vanilla. Third up is from Cover FX, the Power Play Concealer in shade 1 Light Neutral. Fourth, from Pat McGrath, I've got the Sublime Concealer. This is in shade L4. And last, from Tarte, I've got the Shape Tape in shade Fair. I'm filming this the same day I'm testing out the Makeup Forever Reboot, which is more of a light coverage foundation, so we'll see if full coverage ends up being too much. You know the Dior Skin Glow foundation is one of my favorites of all time. It's a fantastic foundation. I have multiple shades of it. Here's our doe foot. Looks like a traditional doe shape. I'm going to do one side with a sponge, a dampened Juno sponge. This is their microfiber sponge. This would definitely be a color if you were going for a skin tone match and not necessarily brightening under the eye. I have tended toward matching my skin tone because I feel like brighter shades of concealer tend to accentuate the crepiness and the wrinkles under my eyes. So I've been having better luck with a skin tone match. I'm having a little trouble getting this to blend in with the foundation. It's a little dark. I think I wish I had... There's only one shade that's lighter than the one that I have, and it is a yellow undertone, so the very fair only has the yellow undertone, and then there are 3 fair shades with different undertones. This is really clinging to the dry skin under my eyes. Let's see if that's just a matter of it being the sponge. I do have some dry skin going on right now. I'm going to use the Sephora Pro. This is number 71, I believe, the Pro Concealer Brush. I love the shape of it because it's got kind of an angle up to it. It fits into this little inner trough very nicely. It's not clinging as much with the brush, but it's still clinging a little bit. I'm going to see if I can kind of fix the clinging on this side. Yeah, I would say go with a brush with this one because I don't know if it was the dampness of the sponge that it didn't like, but it has really messed with the formula of the concealer and made it kind of bunch up. It's sort of fixing itself a little bit with the sponge or with the brush, but it's definitely, it did not like the damp sponge. This doesn't blend out very nicely on either side. It's really kind of it's really sort of heavy, and it's not blending down into the foundation very nicely. Let's take a look at this one. It's, on the sponge side, it's definitely more sort of cakey looking, and that may have just been the mixing with water, but It's leaving kind of like an oxidation line where it's blending with the foundation. It's not doing that so much on the brush side, but it is still clinging to texture just a little bit on the brush side. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take a makeup wipe and redo this side because I feel like it's really unhappy. Let me get a Kleenex. It's very unhappy with the combination of water. So I'm going to take a little bit of my foundation and kind of fix my face here. Ironically, the foundation went on better with the sponge. So I'm going to fix the foundation with the sponge. Then let's do the concealer again with the brush. Much better. This does not like a damp sponge at all. Much better. Yeah, definitely go dry brush with this one. That is looking much better. Let's zoom in and take a look here. It is sort of just a little bit accentuating of the sort of crepey texture under my eyes. I don't think it's accentuating the lines exactly. It's smoothing them just a little bit. And the overall skin under my eyes looks a little bit smoother, but there are points where the sort of dry skin has that sort of flaky, crepey-ish texture that I feel like is not being super smoothed out up close. At a distance, I'm looking in the monitor, I actually think this looks quite nice at a distance, so it may just be up in the 10x mirror that I am noticing any sort of texture issues. So yeah, this one's definitely not a fan of being mixed with a damp sponge. Let's check the time. It is 2:29. I'm gonna go put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. We are doing okay with the Dior concealer. I do have some dry skin going on, and I will have to tell you this. I have to give it a little bit more credit than I was giving it. It has held up wonderfully to a whole lot of manipulation under my eyes. I'm currently using this Revolution Chilled palette. This is some of the worst palette glitter I have ever tried in my life. Which one did I use? Right there. I used glitter primer, NYX glitter primer, and none of the glitter is staying on my face. It is falling down all over the place. And so the concealer has had a lot of manipulation of me, like brushing away glitter and trying to get the specks out from underneath my eyes, and it has held up wonderfully. So that is a very good sign because it has survived some trauma. It is literally an hour later than when we stopped filming a minute ago. Yeah, so gotta give it some credit there. It looks beautiful at a distance. I'm really only noticing the sort of clinging to the driest parts of my skin are what it's clinging to. So otherwise, I'm actually going to say so far so good. We're going to go there. We're so far so good. I've got all the makeup I'm wearing listed down below. Let's see how this wears, and I will be back tonight and we will give it a final check-in. 12:25 p.m. Let's take a look at how the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer held up. I think it held up really nicely. We're about 10 hours in, and let's zoom in and take a look. I feel like maybe my lines are just a smidge more accentuated due to product separating a little bit along them, or product missing from where it was once smoothing over those lines. But generally speaking, the coverage for the most part has maintained, especially when I'm looking at it in the monitor. Up close, you can still kind of see where it was a little clingy to dry patches, and it's a little bit sort of evaporating away. But if something's going to degrade, I kind of hope that's how it degrades, because I feel like that's a a graceful way to go, as opposed to like settling into lines and bunching up and caking up, and it's not really doing any of that. I would say my under eye feels quite nice. It does not feel dry. It does not feel dehydrated. I don't feel any sense that I've lost moisture under my eyes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Do I like it as much as I like the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation? Not quite. I would need just a little bit more smoothing in order to feel that level of love. So if I had to give a grade to the Dior Forever Skin Correct, I'm going to go A- on this concealer. I really like it. It's very nice. I think if my under eye wasn't in the dry state that it's in, due to recently, a few days ago, switching up my level of tretinoin in my Curology and, of course, immediately taking it up under my eyes, maybe I wouldn't have such a challenging situation for it, but considering the challenge I'm putting it under, I really like how it performed. I really do. Not quite gonna knock my favorites off of their pedestals, but I am very excited to have so many good concealer options lately, right? Like, it's been going pretty well lately. I'm gonna go A- on this one. There you have it. Another episode of Concealer Fest is in the books. If you enjoy concealer reviews, if you would like me to do more of them, give me a thumbs up down below. Visit geekoutofwater.com, click the Concealer Fest link. I've got a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all of the concealer reviews. I've only started documenting official, dedicated reviews since this past summer, so that list only has about 20 concealers on it now. It doesn't have 200 the way my foundation list does. We're getting there. It will continue to grow as I continue to check out new concealers. Speaking of, let me know down in the comments below what concealers you would like me to check out next. Even if they're older ones, I'm keeping a list of all the ones I'm going to go back and review and get officially recorded so that, you know, the spreadsheet has all the data, all the numbers, all the stuff. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.